right. Welcome to another episode of What the Fuck Do You Do? We got Justin, Travis, me, Shrey in the building.
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Love it.
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. A rainy, cozy weekend in New York.
Love it. Yeah, it's rainy. I actually don't like it, but I'm glad you guys are having a good time.
Does it make you sad?
Yeah. It does, actually.
Sad boy fault.
Like, I wanted to go for a run,
Yeah, I did too.
and
this
then
morning.
I was like,
Yeah.
this isn't that fun.
I made a PB&J and I put on the NFL instead.
It's basically running.
I ran to my fridge.
You can run in the rain. It's just water.
Yeah. Rain is just water. That doesn't mean it's good.
If you run faster, you don't get as wet.
Yeah, true.
That's not true. Mythbusters. Mythbusters broke it.
A tornado's just wind.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, you're not trying to run in a tornado.
Well, I don't want to run in the rain.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Wasn't prepared for that one.
Justin, we ran in a hailstorm last year.
And then I collapsed at the finish line.
That was
Did you actually?
I did.
Yeah.
It was really cold. It was like 36 degrees. And as soon as I finished, I just sat down and then I couldn't get up. And then, so I spent some time in the medical tent, but I will say the only thing that got me through was knowing that Trav was getting hailed on.
I was like 30 minutes behind him, just like miserable out of my mind.
What did they do to you in the medical tent?
They fed me a bagel, made me eat salt packets. This is not what you wanted to do after a 36-degree half marathon.
Yeah, we had a great brunch planned. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that because I was going to come meet y'all, and then y'all are like, this isn't happening anymore.
I flaked.
Well, that's
not
medical.
flaking.
That's a medical attention.
You get a pass.
I think that's okay.
That's an easy pass.
I think we're in Justin's head now.
Yeah. I just remember getting a call. Like, I think either Diane or Angela called me while I was still running and you were out of the medical tent. They're like, did we miss you at the finish? And I was just like, no, this fucking sucks. Just soaking wet.
Did you feel like you were mentally enhanced, like mentally tested?
I was mad. I was just angry.
Did the rage make you run faster?
No, because it was mile 12. I was just so mad. I was like, if I had run faster earlier, I wouldn't be in this situation. And that's the worst kind of, regret anger is the worst anger because you can't do anything about it.
So anger doesn't propel you to do good things in sports?
In sport, actually, I think proactive anger does. Like, I don't like that guy. I'm going to hit him.
That's what Tom Brady just said.
Yeah. But if I'm like, I don't like the 3 months of preparation I did, then you're just demotivating yourself.
But does the 3 months of preparation and being mad at that afterwards, do you feel
Yeah, if you did it again.
successful?
Yeah. It'd be good, yeah. If you hate yourself, it propels you forward.
Don't you have the New York City Marathon coming up?
In a month.
Yeah. Or do you hate the preparation?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll be there to cheer you on.
Thank you. That's going to be great. I hope it doesn't hail.
Yeah, I hope there's no wind.
If it does, I might just, I'm not going to have a good time.
Dude, it's just rocks.
It's just rocks, bro. It's just water in a different
It's just
form.
water, yeah.
This is making a lot of sense to me.
Well, anyways, our topic for today, what the fuck do you do with a side hustle?
What is a side hustle? Well, let's define that.
Sure.
Is it new? Is this a new thing?
It's trendy. It feels trendy.
But I don't know if it's new. Maybe it's new. I don't know.
I feel like everybody who hates their job is like, I need to have a side hustle.
Yeah,
And the people who don't have time, they don't have side hustles.
that's true.
I think it's a weird term now because back in the day, people had multiple jobs that was looked down on, and now it feels like it's a prerequisite for conversation in 2023. So it's just weird how that shifts for me.
How many of your friends have a side hustle?
I would say 60%, over half.
I think it's the majority.
And what does it typically look like? Is it like a legitimate business that they're trying to do? Is it just like, I don't know, I'm painting on the side?
I think it depends, right? They're not all going to make the most money, but I think people like doing them because they enjoy what they're doing with their time.
Yeah, it's really varied. One of my friends buys website domains and flips them.
Really?
He'll speculate on website domains for the 2024 election. He bought tons of different combinations of stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And he's like, if this person gets, ends up running, then they'll have to buy it from me.
Chris Christie 2024.
Yeah, literally shit like that. And then other friends do like pottery. So it's, I don't know. There's like very different.
They do pot.
They do pot and pottery.
Would you say a hobby is a side hustle?
I think a hobby turns into a side hustle when you monetize it.
Okay.
Or try to monetize it.
Attempt to monetize.
Got it. Okay.
Like, I think we're still hobby podcasters.
Yeah.
We need to get some ads. We need to get some sponsors.
Hey. What about your friends?
Do you have a side hustle, Shrey?
Besides the podcast?
Yeah.
I guess we just said that it's not. We're hobbyists. I guess technically the music stuff is side hustle.
Okay.
I have made under $100 on it so far. Well, actually, that's not true. If you count like paid gigs, it's definitely more than that. But yeah, I definitely put a lot of time into wanting to create music, and I put a lot of effort and actually like allocate some money to doing that.
Very cool. And what about you, Trev?
I think I don't really have a full side hustle right now besides the hobby pod. Yeah.
Do you feel like you need to because other people around you do?
Yeah. I'd say my like high side hustle is like sports gambling.
You could definitely monetize it.
I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
It's like just, I know I'll lose $20 a weekend. I think there is pressure. I think for me, it's less like the pressure to be productive and more the pressure to make a lot of money or like passive income streams and stuff like that. Because like we're 30, people are starting to like, oh, should I buy a house? That kind of shit. And I'm like, I'm
Right.
so far away from doing that. So maybe I need a side hustle,
But I feel like you're pretty fulfilled with your job.
I feel busy.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I have enough time to do one if I wanted to.
So it's like you put a lot of time and effort and energy into, I'm going to do this job well. I care about it. And then afterwards, it's like,
Friends, relationships,
yeah.
podcast, sports gambling.
That brings up a good point. Like how much in an ideal world, right? How much would you divide your time on doing your side hustle versus doing your everyday hustle? Like how would you split it up? And how would you split it up in an ideal world? And how do you split it up now?
Well, I guess in the ideal world, it depends on how much time you have to put into your job and how much you care about it. Because I definitely heard of people who are like, I work 10 to 20 hours at my job and get paid this much, and then I just use all this other time to basically work on my side hustle. I've also heard people who have a similar situation. They're like, I just want to still get rid of this full-time job and do my side hustle full-time because like just having some obligation or kind of being like on call for meetings and stuff just throws everything out of whack of actually getting some rhythm going forward or momentum going forward with building the side hustle.
I think that's where I kind of struggle in my own. Like part of like a small property management group for like real estate investing, right? And I think I love spending time doing that. At the end of the day, I feel so demotivated after a long day of work that it's so hard to put in the time to actually do the research, do the work to scale it. And it's like, how do you create that time? Like, what sacrifices do you have to make in order to take that side hustle to the next level?
Well, because I wonder there too, it's like, I feel like there's two ways that people come into it. It's either like a passion that they just do for fun on the side. And then you're like, oh, I could actually, somebody wants to buy this from me. Somebody like cares about my product. Like you with music. Right?
Yeah.
I like making music. Oh, people will actually listen to it. Maybe I should make some money off of it.
Right.
Versus your side hustles are more like, how do I make money and create passive income? Not passionate about St. Louis real estate development. So it's
speak
like,
for yourself.
yeah, putting words in your mouth.
It's the gateway to the West.
But it's two different approaches. It's like how to hit financial goals or how to like make a passion or a hobby feel more productive. I don't know.
Yeah. How do you like actually come up with strategies to help you get motivated or to actually like put time into it?
What I've seen be really, really effective is having like accountability pieces baked into your process. So even though what we're doing is small, like my partners are brilliant people. And a lot of times I feel like we get the most done when the other two don't want to let that one person down. If someone is super motivated and like does the work and like puts in the time, I think we work really, really well because we don't want to let that person down. Because like, yes, they are our business partner. They are my friends as well. So I think just having a layer of accountability placed in there, that really, really helps me when I'm not feeling super motivated.
So if this was just you, like,
I'd be
totally
fucked.
different.
I'd be fucked. I would, yeah. I mean, it's like I don't know what I don't know, right? I think,
right.
and that's why I think a lot of side hustles, people I've heard run into issues is they have an amazing idea, they forge ahead, and at some point they run into a wall, you know, something that's like slow their progress, and like they don't know who to ask.
Right.
And it's just them. So like, where do they go to? So
Yeah.
for me, just having places, people to hold you accountable,
Right.
that's really important.
I also think like if your side hustle is designed around creating passive income, like there's no thing where you just like start and you get passive income off the bat.
It's
like it
never
takes
passive.
a lot of upfront work to get things set up before you start actually seeing any passive income. So it's like it's actually like another job.
That term is such bullshit.
Yeah,
Passive
it really is.
income.
It's just recurring revenue. That's like
Yeah.
it's just another weird word for it.
What's the weirdest like corporate buzzword term that means nothing?
Double click.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Double click. Yeah.
Dude, people in my office started using that a lot lately. I
Really?
hate it. Like, I just want to double click on that point you made in the meeting yesterday.
Oh. They couldn't just say, let's talk about it more.
I hate when people flag stuff. Like, I wanted to flag this for you. Like, what? There's no flag.
I'll be honest, I say that one.
I say it too.
Gotta flag this to you. Yeah.
Well, so as a solo side hustle person,
Yeah.
you don't have a business partner or anything like that. Like, how do you stay motivated?
Well, so for me, I got started when I actually wasn't working. Like I was in between jobs. And interestingly enough, when I started my first job, I was in training and I was like, what have I done to myself? Like, what is this job? And I immediately started like saying, okay, I need to go do something on my own. And I started getting into like recording covers on the
Right.
violin. After I left this job, I had a lot of free time. So I was like, I want to start like learning more about like producing and like making music. And I just got really sucked into it. And I started working on stuff where I could like see the vision, like see like what it could be. And so that always kept me motivated of like, there's something here to work on, to put out that I think would be really, really cool. So I have to kind of like stay on top of it to actually do it. And I think with creative stuff, I definitely get sucked into like, oh, it's not perfect. And I like let weeks go by. Sometimes I just create artificial deadlines. Like next week, I'm going to go record this part. I don't have it figured out yet, but I'm going to go do it. And it just sort of forces me to like get ideas down, go do it. And I'm like, okay, I actually like this. I don't like this. Now let me go rework this, go back. So like that kind of helps too. But I think having like the end vision kind of helps me see like stay motivated and want to like keep going.
And is your end vision like an album or is it like a career?
The end vision is a visual album, actually. So I kind of want to make more of like a animated feature, sort of like Fantasia with the music. And so I can kind of see how it looks like. And so when I'm like, ooh, I see what this could be. And if I could somehow like put this into out there for people to see, then I'm like, this would be really, really cool.
I'm in.
Yeah.
You just took like the most visually stunning movie of all time. You're like, I could do this.
Myself. Do you feel like
exactly.
do you feel like who do you ask for help now? Like, because I know you are a smart and creative person, but your skill set isn't digital animation or film editing. And so like at what point do you look for help in your side hustle?
Yeah, well, honestly, even with the music, I've been looking for help more because I think there's, like you said, there's certain skill sets I don't have, like engineering the music and getting it to be sonically like really, really pristine. So like I've worked with some engineers and some producers to actually like fine tune some of the stuff I've been working on. And yeah, like I don't know anything about animation, never went to school for it. So me learning how to draw from scratch.
Disney OG Studios, like the Bambi frames and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like maybe it's time to like talk to some people and try and find someone who can actually like do this kind of thing.
Have you talked to any animators?
Actually, not yet, but I had a couple friends who were like, I know some animators and I know some people in the creative field, and they actually like in this last week got me hooked up with them, so I'm gonna start talking to them.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna play your music for them and then just like describe it? Like how does that go?
I think I want to explain them the concept, play them the music, sort of like detail the story, like as the music is playing, and also maybe like show some different examples. Maybe it is like Fantasia or whatever, but of like here's kind of what I'm thinking, and
Show them run away. Like do this.
make this happen. Yeah, I don't know. And then like I think what's cool is I might have like a vision, but I think like the details are kind of flexible. So like maybe they have like ideas that I didn't think of, and it's like, oh yeah, let's build off of that. And honestly, like maybe even taking that back to like side hustles, like maybe that's a cool way of approaching it for some people. Of like, hey, I'm gonna spend 1 week just like I got this like rough business idea or this rough thing that I want to work on, and I'm just gonna like, I don't know, go down heads down 7 days on like seeing what I can come up with and maybe coming up with the plan. I don't know, and then I don't know, see if it's something you want to like stick to, commit to, something good came out of it.
Yeah, you got to test stuff. You got to see what sticks.
If you're asking Trav and I to go on a retreat with you to work on your album,
I'm in.
yeah, we're in.
I don't know. I guess from your friends that do side hustles, like what does their life look like?
It varies, right? I think the people who are most successful, I see them like dedicating a significant proportion of their time to their side hustles. And again, the ones that I've seen be super, super successful, they're all motivated by different things. Like some people are just like, I want to retire at 40, right? I want to retire, which is fucking crazy,
Yeah.
right? Other people are like, I can't be homeless. That's mine. But I'm not saying that I'm the successful one, but I'm just saying like,
Yeah.
but no, I think it's passion projects that I've seen as side hustles. I've seen them flame out a little bit.
Yeah.
It sucks to say, but the ones that have been super successful, someone's motivated by like fear or like missing out on something.
Yeah.
Or I think also the piece there is like, I want to be my own boss. And so I need to build this to offset my current career.
Right.
Like, yeah, I think about the ice bath person that hosted us, or even like Alexis talking about tarot card readings and stuff like that. It's
Totally.
Like, there's a goal there that, you know, maybe your current career isn't one that you want to invest in super long term. And so how does this become like my own business? And I'm like an entrepreneur and my own boss and making my own schedule. So I think there's that like it creates a lot more investment and time into it.
Yeah.
Does that make it difficult for you, Trav? Because like your 9 to 5 involves like so much, like you're working so closely with these kids, trying to get them these amazing jobs. Like for you, like how difficult or like how easy would it be to start a side hustle?
Yeah, it's tough because I feel like in my free time, what I research is stuff that is adjacent to my work. So like what I'm interested in outside of work is like workforce policy and New York like politics and funding and like education best practices. And so the only kind of side hustle I've really thought about realistically recently is like consulting. Like, so, you know, I work with different city governments and different like nonprofits around the country. And it's kind of like we do quarterly calls and I share best practices and we get feedback and stuff. And somebody the other day was like, that's just consulting. You're just not getting paid for it.
Right.
Like when the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce is like, what should we do for apprenticeships? And I'm like, okay, like let's talk it out.
Right.
I should just be charging for that. So that's the one thing I've thought about is just like making an LLC and then just making it available. And who knows, like maybe that is what could one day, if there's enough demand, enough business, then that just actually becomes like a full-time job. But yeah, I feel like I haven't had the same time or energy that I used to think about like problems outside of my immediate focus. Like when I was 22 living in San Francisco and it was like startup land.
Yeah.
And I was just like learning how the tech industry worked. It was like we had a new side hustle every fucking 2 weeks.
Right.
And it'd just be like, oh, let's start this. Let's incorporate. Let's do
gonna
this
be a
crazy
unicorn.
stuff. Yeah. And that was super fun. It was like kind of manic energy and stuff. But I don't do like the research, I feel like, that I would need to come up with something new.
Have you ever seen somebody who was trying to build up like a side business, but actually liked their main job a lot? Like, do you think you have to kind of like hate your main job or really not like it?
Liked in what way?
It's not as fulfilling in a long-term way. Like, you could do it maybe for 2 years, 3 years, it's fine. But like doing it for like 30 years just doesn't sound appealing.
I've had friends that did the consulting route. They
Yeah.
were like an expert in their field, got enough business to be consulting for a couple of years. And then just like they hated managing people and hated like sourcing their own deals. Because it's like when you're on boss, you got to still get the contracts to pay you and you got to network and you got to like
Yeah.
ask for business. And so I think after a couple of years, they're like, this was fun. And it was fun to set my own hours, but I want some like stability. Like, I want to know where my paycheck's coming from for like a year. So it was less like, I don't know, less loving the new work or hating the old work, and more just, oh, maybe it's not as fun to be on the hook for all,
Yeah.
like everything all at once. I feel like Evan, our boy Evan's a good example. It's like he didn't hate his job. He was
Yeah.
good at sales. He had a pretty good balance. Got to play golf a lot,
He's incredible.
but he loved building a rum business, and that like
Yeah.
became more important. But it was a long runway. Like he didn't transition full time into a side hustle for like a year. I feel like 2 years.
And in Palante rum, some of the best rum out there.
Shout out Palante, sponsor.
What's one of the coolest side hustles you've heard?
Yeah. What are we jealous of?
Ooh.
I actually think the web domain thing is kind of
Dude,
unique in
yeah.
its own way.
He was showing me he's got like hundreds of domains for all these different crazy things. It was really funny.
Is he like actually doing well?
It doesn't make a ton of money, but it'll make, a couple grand every year or two, like kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think the idea for that is like one day you hit it big.
You're looking for like the one thing that like makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to like people who are like building houses. Like I've just always
You're
thought that's
physically
cool.
attracted to contractors.
I would fuck the house. No, like I think it's cool because like living in New York, I don't own shit.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very, very cool when people build something from the ground up and it's theirs. So I have a couple friends that do that. And then, yeah, they are buying houses in cities where I would never even think to buy because they're smarter than me.
Yeah.
And just managing that entire construction. Like I find that really, really cool. So I was a little nerdy kid with Legos. So building is always cool to me. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm most excited by when I see people's side hustles.
Nice. I actually really like Alexis's tarot card reading
Yeah.
business because it's so niche, but it's definitely like centered around something she enjoys.
Yeah.
And she was able to make a business out of it.
And I feel like you meet so many cool people.
Yeah. It's a very good intersection of things.
Immediately stare into their soul.
Yeah. Shrey's still thinking about his.
I still think about Shrey's
about it
cars
all the
getting
time.
read.
I
Yeah.
told someone at Sean's birthday last night, it was like, what's your favorite episode? I was like, the one where we got our souls read. It's the most unique. It stands out.
She told me when I was going to die.
We had to edit it out.
Well, okay. You, on your side hustle, work with a couple of friends.
Yeah.
What is that like? Like, was that easy to do working with friends? Was it kind of hard bridging the gap between business and friendship?
It's really interesting in that, like, I think part of it makes us work really, really well together because, like, I like these guys. I trust these guys. They're some of my longest friends. But it also adds a ton of pressure because, like, businesses fail, businesses close, and then what's left? So I think it's like, I think R3 is always trying to be very, very, and us as well, right?
Yeah.
Like we've known each other forever. Like we're trying to be mindful of friendships outside of the business as well. But I do think that there's that added pressure that like scares me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that there has to be a little like separation of church and state. Like we have our kind of like once a season podcast review and our Monday morning meetings, and it's like
nervous.
It's like that's not necessarily friend time. Like
Right.
but it's hard to there are blurry lines sometimes. Yeah, I feel like that's when there's the more money that's involved, the more nervous it makes me, especially when you're asking your friends to invest like their actual savings into something.
Do you think the money would change us?
It would change me. I'd kick you guys out.
I feel like you just like need to build in legal protection.
For your friends, which is a crazy thing to think about.
But it's true.
I
agree. It's true. Yeah.
It's like you just sort of get everyone on the same page of like, hey, let's drop these documents and like agree on these things. And it's not to like protect myself only, but it's to protect everybody in the event something that we don't think of happens. Or if someone actually tries to pull a fast one and does something different.
If you had a choice, would you want to work with your friends or want to work with just regular people?
I would want to work with my friends if we are pointing in the same direction and we have like control over it. It's like I've worked with friends where we work for a big company and that turns into kind of just like, let's take a walk and shit talk our boss because we're homies. But I think some of my favorite memories are doing side hustles with friends or like working on projects with friends. Like this is awesome. I did this thing with my buddy Zach out of college called Amo Books that we like built a business. Books? I love books, man.
Oh, shit.
Learn some fucking Spanish.
Shit.
But it was a subscription-based children's book company. And so we would like ship a couple of books a month to families and then they could either buy them and keep them or send them back. And we'd like basically build more of a recommendation model based on the books their kids liked. It was really cool. We like made some money on it, but then we got scared because it was, do we invest time in this thing that doesn't make a lot of money and quit our jobs? And like, that's the only way to make it big. It's like blow it up and get a warehouse and do it full time. So we didn't do that. We were kind of chickened out, which is a bummer.
What if one of you had wanted to?
I think if one of us had like made the leap, we would have done it.
Okay.
But we were both like starting our first real boy job. Real boy. Our big boy jobs. And
I still don't have a big boy job.
And I think it's like, knowing what I know now, and if I had some savings, I would do it because I still think it was a cool model. Then I was like, we had no money.
Yeah.
Like we had leases and like no idea how to raise venture capital, you know.
Could we do it now?
Maybe, but I feel like physical books are still declining for kids with iPads and stuff.
I mean, but you had this idea less than 10 years ago. It was still declining then, too.
I'm still down, man. I had a great time doing it. But all that being said, it was so fun, like hanging out with a buddy outside of our work times. And like we would go to like the Kite Festival in San Francisco and like table to meet families and parents and stuff and like try to get them signed up, do user research. It was just like super, super exciting. So I love that. I think I'd always want to work with friends.
What advice would you give to someone who's like thinking about starting Amo Books 2.0 with their friends? Like what should they look out for?
Man, I would have asked for way more help earlier. Like I think we got scared because we thought we had to do it all alone. And there are so many people out there who could have given us advice about like shipping and warehousing and like marketing models. And we were like, we have to build it all from scratch. I think that was too scary. But I think in general, it's just like, do the research. That would be my number one advice before you look before you leap a little bit. Because I feel like actually talking to families, like talking to the people we wanted to sell to, helped us pivot like 4 times in the early days. So I think, I don't know. Like, first of all, just do it, but research it before you do it.
Yeah.
What about you, Shrey? If someone was starting a business with their friends, like what would you tell them to be mindful of? What should they like pay attention to?
I think there should be some alignment of what the goal is. Because I do think if you're like, oh, hey, let's make a multi-million-dollar business, that will change the dynamic of how you work with your friend.
Totally.
It's like, we're going to be working a lot and not a lot of friend time. So I think like really being clear on like, what's your goal? What's my goal? And I think also aligning on like level of commitment. So like, hey, I'm willing to put in 20 hours a week on this. Are you? If not, maybe we scale it back to 5 hours a week or we rethink our goals or whatever. But I think it's very easy to get excited about working with a friend on a cool idea and then not realizing like all the work it takes to actually do it.
No, I agree. I feel like we could use some of that.
Yeah.
In how we work too.
And we've gotten better at it, like figuring out what we actually want to work on and like splitting up goals.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Like, I think we need to ask Michael and Blake and Jordan. Oh, the couple of our really good friends that have all gone into business together. There's people paying paychecks in there, and that's kind of wild.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want my friends paying me, or me being in charge of paying my friends. Like either or. Honestly, sounds terrible.
Being your friend's boss.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that sounds awful. I don't want that.
Which one of us would you rather work for?
Ooh. Oh, Trav by a million. It's not even close.
I take that as a compliment, actually.
Dude, Shrey sounds so
She's
mean
driving
at work.
deadlines.
Yeah, dude, unbelievable.
But what if you want to build a multi-million-dollar business? Who would you want to work for?
Trav.
Let's go.
All right.
He has Almo books.
That business is going down in the gutters fast.
I think part of the reason we didn't do it is because every other subscription-based children's book service that had started had failed miserably.
Oh, there was already like another one?
There were like 4 that had tried
Why
to
didn't
start.
you lead with that?
Because you never lead with that when you're looking for money or support.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, okay. What? Sorry, I have to just ask. If you knew that going ahead, why did you guys start it?
Well, we didn't know that when we started it. We were just like, this looks
okay.
fun.
Then you realize, 4 other people have done this, and then they failed.
I think they made mistakes.
Okay.
So we actually did look at all their case studies, and like we actually drew up comparisons the way that you're supposed to, I guess. And we're like, oh, they made an error here, or they oversimplified their product, or they like grew too big too fast.
Yeah.
And so I think like when we looked at it, it actually made sense. But that's what I mean by research. It's like it took us 3 months from just being excited about building something to literally ask the question like, oh, has anybody else tried this?
Interesting.
Shrey, I want to throw it out there. I would work for you.
No, it's okay. I get it. I'm a dick.
No, I think
What do you think?
I think the way you approach your work is why you were so successful. And I think that you have such a high standard for your own work
Yeah.
that I think that I would have trouble meeting your standard.
Okay.
And so I don't think you want me to work for you.
I
Let's flip that around.
think it depends on what we're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
What are we doing? Almo books.
The first time you give me edits on a PowerPoint presentation, I would quit. Because I feel like they would be mean.
What the fuck is this?
Can you change the font to size 12, please?
I'm a Comic Sans only office, actually.
No, okay. I've managed people before, and like that shit bothers me. I would only get
Do you still manage people?
No. I really do try to be aware of like let someone else do something the way they think it works best, as long as the objective is met.
You manage the what, not the how.
Yeah.
I learned that through a book.
Amo books?
Amo books, baby. That shit was fun.
Was Zach is Zach Spanish?
No.
So you guys just
He's
use a
Pakistani.
Spanish word?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Amo is actually pretty universal in a lot of languages, though. It's Italian, Spanish, mainly Romance languages.
But neither you or him
Latin.
are Italian. You get none of the things you just mentioned are.
So this was actually funny though, because we started because we're like, I love books. Like that's kind of a fun catchphrase. And we had Owlie. It was our little logo mascot. Owlie was cute as fuck. I still have a shirt that we had. But one of our domain competitors was Ammo Books, which was like guns and ammo and military stuff.
Oh my God.
And I think it was a magazine about ammunition. And so we were like, oh man, we're getting
Straight to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail for our kids' books. So we might have actually changed the name at some point, but I can't remember. Yeah. But it was a fun time.
What do you have to be looking up to run across Ammo Books subscriptions?
Ammo Books, obviously.
Someone just wants like the Hungry Caterpillar and they stumble on just like a giant mag of ammunition.
Yeah. We also realized that just like this reaction, most middle-class white people that we talked to try to sell them children's books didn't understand Spanish. So the name didn't make any sense to them.
So the name, just was not really hitting any wins there.
Oh, but it was so fun. It was cute.
You should have sold books in Spanish.
I know. Thought about that too. Yeah. Pivots.
So these were the pivots that you talked about?
These are all the pivots.
It sounds like you put like a lot of work into this.
We've worked on it for probably like 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
From college and after. And just what we were talking about earlier, though, I think it helped because Zach was engineering and product, and I was like business, marketing, sales. And so I wasn't trying to like build our recommendation engine, and he wasn't trying to do our communication stuff.
But who is CEO?
I would have let Zach be CEO,
Really?
but he wanted me to be CEO, I think, because
Oh,
he didn't
wow.
want to talk to people.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you'd be a good CEO.
I appreciate it. I think you'd be a great CEO. I think Shrey would be a great COO.
Yeah, Shrey would be a great COO.
I would hate being COO.
You make the shit happen.
COOs, like, I think that's the most thankless job
Yeah.
in the C-suite, for sure. Would you rather go into business with a close friend or more of like a second tier ancillary, like
Second tier, for sure.
I think second tier.
to like farther from home?
Yeah.
That's why I did this with you guys, second tier friends.
Oh yeah, didn't expect to be first tier.
What are we doing here?
MySpace top 25.
Fucking hate each other.
Second tier friends. I would not work for you, Shrey. Love them.
Do you have any other side hustle ideas that you're thinking about?
Oh, yeah. I always have well, there's my minimalism consulting business, which
Legit. I think it's cool.
I've actually told a couple people at work about that, and they're like, I'll be a guinea pig. I'm not like totally sold on it.
You ready to give away your business idea?
Well, no one apparently believes in it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I do.
I do.
Okay. Yeah. Let me redo your life.
Reading my life?
Yeah.
Okay, take me through how minimalism consulting works.
Okay, I haven't thought all the way through, but like it would start with a conversation about are there any areas of your life or what are the goals or things that you would want to improve on in your life?
Why are you making me do the work?
Because minimalism, I believe minimalism, while it could be seen as an absolute thing of like, oh, you should not have a bed or you should not have this, I think it's personalized to everybody.
I see.
So it doesn't mean everyone needs to get rid of something that is too excessive. It's reclarifying what is important to you, what you like, what you enjoy, what's something that serves you, and then reworking different aspects of your life from the things you own, the people you hang out with, the things you spend money on, your digital footprint, everything to kind of help refocus on what matters to you most.
That was a great sales pitch.
That was a great sale. When you said that you haven't really thought through it,
Yeah,
that was just a lie.
that was concise and powerful.
That was off the cuff.
That was nice.
I think you should do this. I'm
Yeah,
sold.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you come up with a diagnostic, I'll do it.
Okay. And I love helping people get rid of shit.
I know. We had a great time at our Budget Bitches quarterly meeting,
Yeah.
decluttering our budgets and subscriptions.
Yeah.
Justin, you're always invited.
I just budget off vibes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah, I can go to your apartment and help declutter things.
It's already decluttered. There's no clutter there.
Yeah, actually, I've
Yours is
spoken
nice.
to your wife about
Yeah.
minimalism. She's pretty about it.
She hates stuff.
She gets it.
She gets it.
I legitimately would love your services because I've got too many subscriptions, too much stuff. I can't get rid of my books. I don't know how to
Yeah.
declutter, man.
They say your apartment is a reflection of your mind.
It's fucking
Who
busy.
says that?
The
I don't know, I
Minimalist
heard that.
Consulting.
Yeah.
That's a great tagline.
Yeah, it's a great bar.
Yeah.
I still have your wedding invite up on my fridge.
You could take that down.
Yeah, but it's so nice, you know.
It's good font.
Good, not Comic Sans for sure.
I have seen though all of the wedding invites end up looking the exact same.
Oh, it's all a sham.
Yeah,
The wedding industry is, I mean, you worked in the wedding industry. It's fucked up.
yeah, it is. It's so expensive. It's crazy.
Minimalism
Minimalist.
applied to the wedding.
Never get married. Minimalist. Bang.
What would a minimalist wedding look like? Just the
Courthouse.
Courthouse, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe like a bouquet.
One rose.
Yeah.
Why mess with all the other flowers?
No, yeah. No plural here.
No, it wouldn't be a rose. It would be a dried flower because they last much longer. It's more sustainable.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
All right, so we're gonna try something a little bit different. Basically, this week we're trying to figure out like what the fuck you would do in certain scenarios, right? And this week's scenario is, what the fuck would you do when this thing happens to you during travel? Like, all of us are millennials. Millennials love travel. So what we did we asked our listeners to send in some of their crazy travel experiences. We're going to try this out where I'm going to read some of these stories to y'all, and then you tell me what the fuck you would do.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Love it.
I haven't heard any of these yet.
Me either.
I also got rid of my Instagram, so I've been not really helping our social media profile. Sorry, Justin.
Number 1, someone tried to kill me in Iceland.
That's the whole context?
Mm-hmm. Let me pull this up. We can edit this. Edit this out. Actually, leave this in.
I'm
Leave this
pumped
in.
for this. So, okay, Iceland is the cold one or the warm one
Cold one.
compared to Greenland?
I mean, they're both really cold, but I guess Iceland's a little less cold.
So,
I always knew they were wrong.
while one of our listeners, Daniel, was in Iceland, he had someone break into his Airbnb while he was sleeping, drugged out, broke through the front door, climbed through the glass, got blood all over the house. They locked themselves in the master bedroom, put a dresser against the door, and the dude was trying to like stab them, trying to get through the door until the cops could come.
Like shining with the axe
Yes.
through the door?
What the fuck do you do if someone tries to break into your house when you're in a new country?
I would probably do that. I wouldn't try and fight them. I would lock myself in. Yeah, barricade if I could. Is 911 still like the number you dial?
There's
for?
no way it's not.
Dude, there's no way I would know the number either.
That would be maybe the only rub is I don't know how to contact police.
And isn't Icelandic a crazy language as is?
Fjorkendarken.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to edit that out.
that's
Can't insult the Scandinavians.
how. Yeah,
That's so intense.
Probably wouldn't go back to that country, honestly. Like, even if I had the best time, if someone broke through my Airbnb trying to stab me with a knife, just like methed out of their mind, probably wouldn't go back.
I mean, I think he did all the right things. Like safety first, like make sure you're safe, contact somebody for help, protect yourself, like if you can.
was he with someone?
He was with a group of people. I think there were like a mix of guys and girls. The
Meat
dude,
shield.
yeah.
Meat shield.
Easy.
Who are you putting first?
Yeah, who would you put first as your meat shield?
Whoever's been the most annoying on the trip so far.
That's why we can't work for Shrey, dude. We'll just become his meat shields.
Oh my God. I think he actually told me the story when we were hanging out last trip, and it was really intense.
Yeah.
Like this is intense to read, but it downplayed, I think, how frantic the actual situation felt.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah, what else am I doing? I'm like investing in therapy for trauma. I'm like suing Airbnb.
I think the takeaway here is get a hotel.
That's a
Or a VRBO.
That's a good point. Okay, sure. Expedia.com.
Okay, what the fuck do you do when you get sick in a different country?
This is tough.
How sick.
Yeah.
Another friend got measles in Brazil.
Oh, so not just like Montezuma's revenge. This is like
No, like legitimately sick in like not like in the middle of like Sao Paulo, but I don't think the nicest part of Sao Paulo.
I mean, I've only been sick once in another country, and it was Italy. And I went to the doctor, and it was a fantastic experience. They charged me nothing. They took care of me, gave me a prescription, and I was better in like 3 days.
Did that place have that country have free healthcare?
Yes, they did.
It's weird how
I
that
would
works.
go to Reddit, figure out what the nice part of town is, and then figure out where the hospital is in that area.
That's actually a good play.
I like how going to Reddit first is actually a good strategy here.
Yeah, you gotta like see what the people are really saying.
I actually think like local crowdsourced information on Reddit is really helpful. Like restaurants, little like problems like that. I would also say the embassy is usually really helpful. Like I always had when I would travel somewhere for a while, I would always put the US embassy number in my phone.
I've never been to an embassy before. Are they nice?
Yeah, I went to one in China and it was really cool. It was huge, but that might have just been us flexing on China.
Look how big our building is.
No, like legitimately. But the embassy always like has help lines and people available they'll have like resources, hospital numbers. And I think if you get too sick, they will help with like evacuation.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah,
When in doubt, find your nearest embassy.
You can also buy international travel insurance. or like international health insurance, and they will have doctors and stuff that you can call.
I actually had a friend who got sick, and she was saying her normal insurance covered an international visit to the hospital.
Wow, that's pretty sick.
Which I didn't know you could do.
I want to work for her company.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, she's a consultant.
All right. Next. What the fuck would you do if you were on a cruise and someone got murdered on that cruise?
And they didn't catch the murderer?
So, story is, I was on a cruise with my parents in high school, and when we were trying to get off the boat, we were told we couldn't get off at one of the stops because it looked like someone was taking a body off the boat. The cruise kept it very, very under wraps, publicity, international waters, but it was clear someone was dead and was taken off the boat. The rumor going around was that it was a jealous husband stabbed his wife on the cruise.
Oh my God.
So let's say you're on a 4-day cruise to Jamaica.
What did she do?
She was his meat shield.
Never going cruising with Shrey. We're learning a lot about Shrey today.
Yeah, sure is.
I mean, did she deserve it?
Oh,
Jesus.
If someone dies on the cruise and at what point do you go back to just cruising and boozing?
To cruising? I mean, realistically, immediately.
Yeah, like it's not going to happen a second time.
And also, you didn't know them.
Pour one out. Yeah, if you don't know them.
Would you push a button for one random person on the cruise to also die if your cruise got extended 4 days for free?
No.
Nah.
An 8-day cruise might be my personal version of hell.
I've never been on a cruise, so I don't know.
It sounds like a lot, 8 days.
Okay,
like
that's fair.
3 days sounds like good amount.
People, like when I went on my last cruise for a bachelor party, we were talking to some of the cruise people. Not only they're crazy, they're just old people that will hop on like 28-day cruises, like 3-week-long cruises, and they'll just live there. They'll just hop from boat to boat.
Damn.
And get free points, just like casinos.
Well, this situation just sounds like an Agatha Christie like novel. Like someone's been murdered and the killer is one of us.
Yeah, I'd love to go like Glass Onion, Murder on a Train on this kind of thing, and like join the Southern detective who smokes a little pipe.
Yeah, with a weird accent.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would do is make sure I have a good alibi.
I mean, how do you make sure you have a good alibi? I guess the best alibi is not doing the murder.
Not in our American justice system.
That is true.
Would you reveal if it helped clear your name that you were having an affair?
To the cops? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to like call someone up. Who knows, actually? Maybe.
Trust the cops?
They just have like a
Trust the cruise cops?
They have a list of everyone's alibis that they post in the hallway. Go, you were what? But realistically, what can you do? Like,
Yeah.
I would probably be nosy and try to figure out what happened. But other than that, you just go back to the cruise.
I kind of want to. I've always wanted to find the brig on a cruise, like cruise jail. Like that fascinates me.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to end up there? Is it legally binding in there? Like, how does that shit work?
It's international waters, so anything goes.
So nothing goes.
Yeah.
Well, anything goes.
Pirate law.
You're a crook, Captain Hook.
Walk the gangplank, you know.
Walk the gangplank.
The gangplank. That's what they used to do on ships.
It's called a gangplank?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a plank.
Well, that's the shortened term.
What's a gang? Okay.
Sounds sexual.
No, it doesn't.
Sounds,
Dirty ass mind.
sounds racist.
Probably was.
Realistically, though, okay, if I was staying in the room next to the person where they were carrying out the dead body, I'd be like, can I just get a different room?
Yeah.
I'd be like, get me the fuck off this boat.
Okay, yeah, I would do that too. I was just assuming that wasn't a possibility because we couldn't dock yet.
But is that really an option? You're in the Bahamas, you know, you live in New York or something.
No,
Just take the boat home.
I mean, they have lifeboats.
You're going to row yourself? row your boat?
Through the Bermuda Triangle?
Back to the Hudson?
Yeah, no, didn't really think that one through. I'd probably just keep cruising.
Yeah.
Probably go play some blackjack.
Yeah. I don't know.
Those boats are big. I think what's always shocked me is how many people fit on those boats. Like when Chase was on telling us that there are like 10,000 people on an aircraft carrier.
It's like a mini city.
This is like if someone got murdered in like Lukenbach, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just carry on with their lives.
Yeah, you probably do. You're like, wow, what a story. Then just go to work.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
We have another friend, another listener. Punched a hooker on Christmas.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Yeah, someone wrote, was traveling. She tried to rob me on Christmas, bro.
He wrote the bro in there.
He wrote the bro. So what the fuck would you do if you were getting robbed on Christmas?
I would have made so many different choices leading up to that moment. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. Was he at a brothel?
On
I don't
Christmas.
have that context. I didn't really ask for that many follow-ups. He volunteered that one.
I think if he was like at the hooker's workplace, then I don't know. You kind of like that's just a bad life choice.
Is the place the point that you're taking?
Yeah, because if
issue
you just
with?
got like robbed on the sidewalk by a hooker, that's a different story.
Oh, I didn't even think that was a scenario. I thought this was
Yeah.
either someone's at your house or you're at a brothel.
Yeah, I think this is post-act.
Post act. Well, what did he do? Did he do some extra services?
He said,
I don't think this guy's as innocent as he's making it seem like.
He's absolutely not
I
innocent.
don't think he's innocent at all.
No, violence is not the answer.
Sounds like he just punched this person.
Well, I'm saying I think it sounds like she might have robbed him for good reasons.
We don't know that it's a she.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, the Christmas
Wait,
part,
keep
I'm
me
still
honest.
stuck on.
Yeah.
I'm like, what life choices were you making that Christmas Eve? You're like, time to fire it up, you know?
Yeah, that's sad.
That's super sad.
It's a bummer. I feel bad.
And he threw in a bro to like liven it up.
I was just like, why is this on my DMs now? I regret asking this question.
Also, like, even if you get robbed, just take the L, man.
What's the craziest travel story that y'all have?
I don't think I've had like that crazy of a story.
Just travel goes really incredibly well for you. It's super convenient.
Yeah.
Stays in luxury hotels, pampered.
What is that one? I got held up in gunpoint in Poland. Never fucking go to Poland. Poland stinks. Poland stinks.
Okay. Can you explain
Okay.
the story?
Yeah.
'Cause I have a
So
lot of questions.
Before we judge Poland here.
Yeah.
me and one of my good friends, we were, I think it was the summer after our first year of work. So I think we're 22, 23, going on a little Euro trip, and we're just being absolute menaces. So we're going through different countries. We decided to stop off in Poland before we're going to Germany, and we hit Warsaw on like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So once we get off the plane into Warsaw, you have to take a bus to get to the hotel. Everything's in fucking Polish. So I don't know how to use this system. I don't speak Polish, so I just hop on the bus. We don't buy our tickets. We assume if someone has a problem, they will tell us, you need to buy a ticket. Someone does tell us on the bus, hey, come buy a ticket. And we're like, okay, we don't know how. He's like, stop off at the next stop and I'll help you. When we get dropped off at the next stop, he goes, if you don't pay this fine right now, I'm going to call the cops. I'm like, okay, you're dressed like a cop. If you're going to call the cops, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, an unmarked van pulls around the side, like straight out of a movie. An unmarked white van pulls out of the side. Like 3 guys get out with like body armor M16s in our face. They're like, pay this fine, pay this fine, pay this fine. And at that point, there's fucking guns here.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll pay the fine.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers took credit card. So
Cash App, Venmo,
I
Square.
think we paid like what amounted to be like a $75 fine.
Great.
But yeah, don't go to Poland. Poland stinks. I like the Polish people.
Sounds like you should have just paid for the bus ticket.
Shut the fuck up, Shrey.
This is why Shrey's like, I don't have any travel problems. I researched the
My
local
life
bus
is so
fare.
good.
I've pre-bought my transit pass for a week.
Well, I don't know what country you go to where you just get on the bus for free.
Well, yeah. I almost got in trouble in Copenhagen this summer doing that. It's just so hard to figure out the system sometimes. You just got to get on the bus.
Such an American thing. I just get on the bus because I just feel like I can.
Yeah.
Not pay anything.
So you made this, you didn't put it in English, so what do you want me to do?
Yeah, the world needs to be in English. The world needs to cater to my capabilities only.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I do.
You know bad travel stories?
I mean, not to that level. I think it's always been like
One time my flight got delayed.
maybe somewhere in between that and then the bus story.
Is there any more mail?
No more mail. That was it.
All right. Well,
Wow.
thanks for joining. Great episode as always. Follow us on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. You know. Yeah.
Shout out to our sponsors, Palante and
Reddit.
the cruise industry.
We can't just start naming companies.
And Poland. Sponsored
And
by
Poland.
Poland's favorite podcast.
All right. Peace.